Hello, my name is Iness and I will be doing the portrait on landscape by George Iness in 1842. The materials used are oil and canvas. As you can see here, this is the full view of the portrait. It is a two-dimensional piece of art that has vertical, diagonal, and curved implied lines. The shapes are all organic and it is a contour. The art shows us light, value, neutral colors, highlight, vertical placement, scale, proportion, emphasis, asymmetrical balance, and many other principles and elements that will be described later in the video. The subject matter is an old gentleman sitting next to a road out in the wilderness. From this point on, I will use these elements and principles to describe the painting in sections. I will first talk about the elements of art. In this portrait, the standing trees and sitting man have vertical implied lines. They show attention. The tree branches and the wooden bridge have diagonal lines, and the road has a curved implied line. They suggest movement. As I said before, all shapes used are organic shapes. The colors used are green, blue, yellow, and red. They can be found on the tree leaves, grass, sky, and the gentleman's vest. The color green is used to create lighter and darker colors to use as highlights and dark sections of the trees. It is mixed with neutral colors to accomplish this task. They are known as shades, tones, and tints. Neutral colors, which are black, brown, gray, and whites, are also used. They are mostly found in areas that are really dark and suggest a shady area or brighter sections which have light. This can be known as value. The highlights are mostly in the middle of the portrait where the gentleman is sitting. It reveals him to the viewer. It also creates emphasis. The darker sections, which are known as a degradation of value or darkest value, can be found on the rocks, trees, clouds, tree barks, branches, under the bridge, leaves, and the grass. In this piece of art, there is space. Space is everything that is around us, or in this case, on the portrait. The first thing you need to know is that there is a foreground, middle ground, and background. In order to determine which object is closer to you and which is farther, an object overlaps. This relates to vertical placement. Vertical placement is a principle that suggests that a picture plane is divided into top and bottom. The bottom of the picture will suggest that it is closer, while the top will be farther. From here, you can incorporate diminishing size. Diminishing size proposes that objects in the background are going to be small, while objects in the foreground are going to be big. The front of the road is closer than the gentleman and the trees. The man overlaps the trees, which means he is closer than the trees. The man overlaps the bark he is sitting on, and it overlaps the wooden bridge. The trees overlap the hill or mountain and the sky. You can say that the front of the road is the foreground, the trees, man, bark, and bridge are the middle ground, and the hill and sky the background. I will now talk about the principles of art. This piece has asymmetrical balance. It is in equilibrium. It also has emphasis towards the man. The man is the only one that has the color red and catches the viewer's eye. He is a focal point. Scale and proportion is also relevant in this case. For example, the tree is bigger than the man, which should be the case in real life. It would be strange the other way around. Finally, at the end of the video, I'll discuss what I believe is happening in the portrait. There is an elderly gentleman that has a red vest and is sitting next to the road. He is out in the wilderness. He seems to be waiting for someone to come pick him up. While he is sitting, he is enjoying the beautiful scenery of the landscape. In my opinion, he is remembering his youth, the time he spent growing up in that wonderful landscape. But now he is getting old and will leave it all behind. He is enjoying his last moments.